Well, hello, my YouTube friends. Bob Baker here. I'm coming to you live, and on this broadcast, hang on a second here. Stream. On this broadcast, I'm going to be talking about and sharing with you 7 daily questions to live an empowered life. These especially apply in these trying times. We're living through unprecedented times with this global pandemic and the crisis. However, I believe that together we will get through this. And so I'm going to share with you some of these questions that I think will really help you. And actually, even though these are especially true during times like this, when there is a global crisis happening, really these are questions that you can ask yourself and answer regardless of what is going on. Even after this thing passes, I think these are great habits to get into. And so I'm hoping that I'm streaming live on the proper channel and that I'll start to see some comments here. I'm using a new piece of software to go live on YouTube, and it'll allow it has some bells and whistles that I'm hoping to display to you here. I'm going to check something real quick just to make sure that I am indeed broadcasting where I think I am. That would be funny if I'm not. But hang on just a second here. If not, I'll have to restart this. But let's see here. But if you're watching this, if you're seeing this, please go ahead and leave a comment. It says live now. There I am. 7 daily questions. So this should be broadcasting. Just want to make sure I have the right setting. Oh, there we go. Awesome. So excuse me while I I just wanted to check this out. It's a new piece of software, so but I'm confirming now that I am indeed live. Hang on a second here. I just got to close up this window. And I see I already got a comment from, is it Little Len? Hey, awesome. I see you too. So if anyone who's watching this, please leave a comment. Let me know where you're watching from. Say hey. And let's have an inspiring time here sharing these 7 daily questions. All right, essential, vital. We can see you. Tanya Peterson came in. So I'm using this software called Ecamm, and it has a lot of bells and whistles, and I'm just getting used to it. But I'm just going to show you how this works. I can do this. Let me actually go ahead and move that down a little bit. See, I can actually highlight different comments. So Little Len, thank you for telling me it's working. Here, Tanya says, top of the morning to you. Top of the morning to you. You don't happen to be from calling from Ireland. It's just I love that. Top of the morning to you as well. So yes, if you're tuning in, leave a comment, say hi, and stick around for a little while if you can, because I'm going to be sharing 7 daily questions to live a more empowered life. Let's see here. Len says, I just wanted to thank you so much for the helpful videos. I've been feeling better every day with my anxiety. Thank you so much. It just thrills me to no end to get comments like that. So thank you very much. I'm glad that you found this to be helpful, especially during these trying times. In fact, I'm planning on recording later today. Most of my affirmations or my videos are morning affirmations. But I do have some sleep, a number of sleep ones that I've done. I'm thinking of doing a sleep one, like reassuring words. I'm sure a lot of people are just kind of like, especially if you watch the news too close to bedtime, it's hard to get to sleep. And so I'm planning on creating something that will help you ease into to relax at bedtime. Here, I'm just gonna highlight some comments here. Jessica says, "Hi Bob, thanks for your amazing energy. I really appreciate that." Tanya's calling in from Huntington Beach. That was the top of the morning, right? Awesome. Vaughn says hello. Let's see. Rose says, good morning. Thank you. I just found out how to say hello. Yes, if you can, figure out how depending on if you're a desktop or a phone. There's different ways of doing that, but see if you can find a way to leave a comment. And Christine, there's a name that I've seen many times. Hello to you. Thank you for your ongoing support and comments. I always love seeing your name pop up there. Essential Vital says, we love your affirmations. It's here. Angela says, hi, Bob. I listen every morning all the way in North Carolina. That's awesome to hear. Is this a cool feature? Yeah, this isn't built into the YouTube Live. It's a special piece of software that I'm using. And so this is awesome. So I want to take this out. So keep leaving comments if you will. I just want to cover real quickly. Oh, no, well, that probably won't be so quickly. I want to cover something called 7 daily questions. And I'm just going to get your feedback as I go through each one of them. And my plan, actually, I have to start recording them today or tomorrow for sure, but I'm actually going to do something very different this coming week. These are different times, unprecedented, so they call for a different strategy. I'm going to, and if you're willing to support me in this, what I'm going to do, usually I post 2 videos a week, but starting Monday, I'm going to post 1 video every morning for 7 days in a row. I'm going to actually go over each one of these or highlight one of these 7 questions every day starting on Monday. So I'll be posting a video every day and maybe going live periodically throughout the week too. But it's something I want to try, and I think maybe it'll be helpful for you because I just think these questions are so powerful here. I'm just going to highlight a couple of things here. Rose says, grace and peace, you help me so much. Your happy song does it for me every morning. That's how I start my day. Is it the wake up wake up happy? I think I have maybe if you know the specific song, I would love to be able to know what that is. Watch the news. My mother and I keep telling her stuff. Yeah, people are commenting here about staying away from the news. I always try to stay away from the news after I listen to you. Yeah, I need to keep that energy. Yeah, you might want to set limits, for how often you check in, because there's fast-moving developments, but you can check in 2 or 3 times a day. I mean, I like to stay informed, but I don't like to obsess about it and just wallow in all what's going wrong here. Oh wow, check this out. C. Thomas says, hi Bob from Orlando. Your affirmations have completely changed my life. I use them morning and night. Thank you so much for saying that. That really means a lot to me. Oh, look at here. It's Dre, maybe from the Philippines, 11 p.m. Thank you, Bob. Keep making more. Awesome. Yeah, I actually have a couple of people who I don't have really much of a team. I'm pretty much a solo operation, but I do have a couple of people based in the Philippines. One guy, a guy named Drew, helps me with some of my audio editing. And then a gal named April, she helps me with some of the transcriptions and the captions on the videos here. And so, I'm connected to some folks. And look at Sandra's from Fairbanks, Alaska. Oh, fantastic. Jason says, listening to your affirmations, they're amazing. That's awesome. Great to hear. NJ's from the UAE. Please let me know on affirmations. You get 9. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I'm not sure how to help you with immigration stuff. I'm sorry, man. I wish I could. Listening to your affirmations are amazing. So changes. So thank you so much for all of these. So anyway, I'm going to start going through these. You could easily get sucked into the comments and not get to the content that I wanted to share with you. So here's what happened. I don't know, a few days ago or last week, people have been posting all these memes and these different images, and some funny, some serious, related to the virus. And is what we're all going through. And one of them, there was one image that said the 6, I think I posted it actually on my community tab, the 6 daily quarantine questions is what that was. And I just thought they were really helpful. I shared them on all my social media posts, and across all the different places where I posted it, there's thousands of people liked it or shared it. And the more I looked at them, I go, man, these are really valuable. So I actually went, and I don't know the source. That I don't believe in that original thing that I've shared, that I found. It said what the original source was. So I wish I could give that person or that entity credit. But what I did is I took them, I added the 7th one, and I rearranged them. And I'm just going to go through them right now. And actually, It's not in the description now, but I'm going to have a link to a couple of PDF files. One is a printable PDF file, just with all of the questions on one page that you can print out and pin up somewhere. And another is a 2-page PDF that's like a worksheet that you can fill it out and actually answer the questions. And so let's just go through them right now. Right here, oh, actually, hang on a second. I'm getting used to this software, but this is a nice thing. I can switch. I can share my screen here. So this is an image of the of this 2-page PDF that is a worksheet. So let's just kind of go over these one at a time. And so, again, these are especially helpful during a crisis or when you're feeling anxiety, but I think these are questions that you could benefit from no matter what is going on in the world or in your life. So number one, should be no surprise, what am I grateful for today? And in fact, if you don't mind, while I'm kind of talking about this a little bit, go ahead and pop in the comments. Let me know, one, like, what is gratitude? How important is that to you? Do you express your gratitude? And maybe even post some things that you're grateful for, and I'll highlight them after I talk about this a little bit. But let me get a drink. I'm having some chai, some spiced chai tea. You can't see me here. Let me go come back to this camera here. Cheers to you, top of the morning. I got my chicken mug here with some spiced. Whoops. Actually, let me get rid of. I'm sorry, I still have Jason's thing up there. All right, back to the regular scheduled programming. So gratitude. It's often been said that it's one of the it's oldest sort of practices throughout many spiritual traditions around the globe and through the centuries, but being grateful for what you have, counting your blessings for what you have right now, is actually the best way to welcome and attract and just manifest more into your life. So no matter how dire you feel maybe your circumstances are, and there are things to legitimately be concerned about, like if you lost a job, if you have a loved one that's sick, if you're ill right now, it's a good reason. You're a human being, so it's a good reason to be concerned. However, even in the midst of all that, there's still things you can be grateful for. So try to keep yourself from wallowing in the news, wallowing what's wrong, what's missing, and just take a moment regularly throughout your day and say, what am I grateful for right now? And there are just so many things, and they can be simple things like I fresh air, my family, my friends, my neighbors, my coworkers, people in my community. It could be things too. It could be your home, your car, your backyard. Do you have a front porch? I mean, even simple things. Your phone. Assuming most of you who are, since you're accessing this, you're blessed enough to have the technology that allows you to connect to the internet. That in itself is a blessing. So always ask yourself, not only once a day, maybe repeatedly throughout the day, what am I grateful for right now? And that's a great way to, you're a legend, Bob. Let's see here. Christy says, today I'm grateful to be here with you in this wonderful community as I am. Says, let's say the video keeps freezing. Is that happening with everyone? So I'm not getting any indication here, but let me know if you're all experiencing that or just it could be his connection. Sandra says, I am grateful for my life and my health. That's fabulous. Giving service to Dre says, I'm so happy and grateful I'm working at home, giving service to people around the globe. Absolutely. Like, I know everyone is not in this position. There are a lot of people that are saying, come on, it could be worse. You just have to stay at home and sit on the couch. But a lot of people don't have, I mean, if you work in the healthcare industry, if you work at a grocery store, if you work you're a delivery person, a mail carrier, so God bless you. These are the new superheroes. I posted something like a cartoon image related to that. We need to thank these people and acknowledge them, and I'm glad to see more and more people are. So you may have, but if you are at home, you can still serve the world like I'm doing here. Hopefully, let's see here. I'm grateful for my health and my mind. Let's see. I'm grateful for just being able to eat healthy every day, even though we are going through difficult times. Grateful for my family. Yes, there's so much to be grateful for. So gratitude is indeed. He said it's good now. Oh, it says Sandra says yes, freezing a little bit. Well, we'll just kind of roll with it here, and hopefully it'll be a good enough connection. So I hope I'm making my point here that expressing your gratitude on a daily basis is really important, and that's why I have many videos. I think he owned a whole playlist maybe in on gratitude, and there's some of my most popular ones. Probably abundance and prosperity and the money related stuff is probably some of my most popular videos. But right behind that is gratitude, and so I think this just speaks to the importance of that. So let's go on to number 2, and this is really important these days. Hang on a second. Let me scroll through this. There we go. So who am I checking in on or connecting with, especially during this particular crisis? But again, I think this is helpful to stay in touch with people and connect with people regardless of what's going on in the world. But asking, obviously, your grandparents, parents, kids, your immediate family, your neighbors, checking in on them. But who else haven't you talked to for a while? Maybe make it a regular practice to scroll through your friends list, or if you're on Facebook or wherever you have that sort of list, or your contact list. Look through the people who you've in your contacts on your phone, and just send them a quick text. How are you doing? I've gotten a couple of those from friends, and that really means a lot that they thought of me enough to reach out. So it's kind of strange. They call it social distancing, although people are wanting to say it more physical distancing, because you can still be social at a distance. But since we're not able to meet with our friends as much, we can still stay connected through our social media, through FaceTime, and all this miraculous technology that we have. And so always ask yourself, especially during these days, who am I checking or can I check in on and connect with today? And make it a variety of people. So stay in touch with people. There's a proliferation, you probably noticed, of Zoom calls. I mean, I'm doing it myself. Musicians performing live, still connecting with their fans. People doing like porch and from their balconies. They did this in Italy. A friend of mine just did this in St. Louis and got on the local news. Just set up her equipment and a microphone, a speaker, and sang for the audience, her neighborhood, her street for an hour, and people came in the streets, hopefully keeping their distance, and so there's still ways to interact. And so keep that social connection going, especially if you're alone. I mean, I'm blessed that I'm at home with my significant other, Pookie, who you may have seen. We did some live music things recently. And so it's funny, people that are trapped at home with their families and their kids are going crazy and going, oh my God, I wish I could be by myself for a while. And then people who are single or living alone or whatever are going, oh my God, I need the interaction. So we always want what's on the other side of I'm sorry, let me bring this down. We always want, the grass is always greener somewhere else. So just appreciate wherever you are. Let me just check on some things here. Jessica says, I'm checking in on myself and taking this. Let me go back to my other screen here. I got to pay attention to what I'm doing here. I'm checking in on myself and taking this time to connect with myself and learn. Sometimes I focus too much on everything else. I'm grateful for the moment to pause. That is a great attitude. Let's see here. Zenny says, I'm grateful to have a ceiling and a job where I'm still going to work. I'm grateful for my family, friends, and neighbors. That's fabulous. Boss lady, is it? I'm grateful for my kids and our home. Grateful for running water and electricity. I'm grateful for being able to spend more time with my kids. Yeah, that's something that we often can't do. And I'm grateful that my family and I are alive and in good health. Yeah, that's a big one. And here we go. Check on Christine here. I'm checking in on myself first, but yes, I've checked in with my friends and family. I've also checked in with my neighbors. I also decided to bake and share them with those who don't have much. That's fabulous. Congratulations. So yes, number Number 2 there was check in. Let's see, share the next one here. So this is number 3, question number 3. What expectations of normal am I letting go of today? Let's read that again. What expectations of normal am I letting go of today? So some of you know, or you may or may not know, that I teach improv comedy. I also do, I'm a performer. We do some shows here in St. Louis. And by the way, one thing I've done is, instead of just shutting down my classes because we can't meet in person, or my shows, is I've moved to online versions of that, to Zoom. In fact, if you're on my email list, probably pretty soon, I'm going to give you, I'll be sending out information if you want to attend and learn improv remotely. This has opened up a whole new way of me to share this passion, because it's best to learn improv and acting and theater, in a live setting when you're in the same room with people. But having to pivot and we found ways to make it work, and I can still teach, and it's been a lot of fun. But the reason I bring up improv is because the rock bottom principle of improv, and by improv I mean improvisational theater. If you've ever seen the show Whose Line Is It Anyway, that's the type of stuff that I teach and I perform, and I just love that art form, where you get a suggestion from the audience and then you make up a game or a scene on the spot with other actors, at least one other person. And so there are principles to improv that you learn that are very, not only useful for improv, but there's a lot of life lessons here. So that there's a 2-word phrase, and it's yes and. So improv is based on agreement. And so if your partner introduces some kind of information, like if we start a scene, the suggestion is living room, and my partner, gal, maybe walks in and she initiates, and she goes, honey, get over here and help me change the baby. That I have to accept that. I'm assuming I'm the father, perhaps. And I would say yes, and I would come in and I would add another detail to it. And so yes is accepting what is, and is then adding something to it. What creative can I do with this new reality? And it's a great life lesson, and it totally relates to this thing. What expectations of normal am I letting go of? So there's another improv principle, which is detach from an outcome. And so I might have an idea where a scene is going, but if my partner introduces a piece of information that totally takes it in another direction, I have to let go of what my thoughts were and go with what is. So all these principles, I think, are great life lessons. Yes, I wish things would be the same. You've heard that phrase. It's the only thing. What's something about change? The only thing we can count on is change, or something. And so, yes, you might have preferences, but sometimes you just have to accept what is, let go of what I think is normal, and just how can I make the most of this situation? So that's, I don't know, I think that's been a really helpful principle for me. I'm just going to check on some of the... I got a lot of comments about grateful here. Thank you, Lucy, for saying you empower me every day. I appreciate that. Yes, I do. I guess, and some of you are having conversations with each other, so which is awesome. I think that's fabulous. And so I want to talk about, or let you know about some things I'm thinking about doing, to get your feedback maybe on them, and then I'll go on to the next daily question here. Again, if you're just tuning in, leave a comment, say hey, let me know where you're watching from. Just love to interact with you here, and if it's appropriate, I'll maybe pull your comment up on the screen here. And also, if you can, anything you have to say about that last thing, letting go of normal. Is that a challenge for you, or do you see the benefit in that? Let me take a drink of my spiced chai tea here. There we go. Is it Stelita? I love Whose Line Is It Anyway? That's fabulous. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the show. And you know something really cool, Stelita, is that like 5 years ago, Laura Hall and her husband came to town. So Laura Hall, you may or may not know, is the piano player on Whose Line, and she's she was through all the the Drew Carey era, and continues to be on the show with Aisha Tyler, who hosts it for recent years. So Laura and her husband Rick came to St. Louis like 5 years ago and to teach a musical improv workshop, and I totally signed up for it. I showed up. I was a total fanboy. I said, "Oh my God, it's so great to meet you!" And we did a 2 or 3 hour class, and we performed. All the students performed, and it was just so surreal. Up on stage singing and looking down and seeing that familiar face, Laura playing the piano. Several months later, I reached out to her to interview her on one of my podcasts, and she agreed. And anyway, a conversation, that podcast interview led to us becoming friends, and we actually wrote a book together called The Improv Comedy Musician that came out about 2 years ago. And so I co-wrote a book with Laura Hall from Whose Line Is It Anyway? I've met briefly Colin Mockery, went to some of the shows, the tapings. So yeah, so if you like Whose Line, that's the kind of stuff I like. And you're watching from Birmingham, Alabama. Fabulous. And I said your name right. Yay for me. Cool. I was hoping. So I hate to butcher names. So I'm thinking about just some things that I want to, I'm thinking of other ways that I can serve this community. I've got tons and tons. I got like hundreds of videos now that are available for free on YouTube here. And you may have to listen to an ad on some of them. That's one of the ways that I support my family is that YouTube splits that ad revenue with creators like me. So thank you very much for listening and putting up with those ads. However, I'm thinking of things I can offer like outside of YouTube. And so here's just a couple ideas, and just let me know in the comments what you think of this. But there's two, and I've done this. I've been an author for many years. I published books, not only the one on musical improv, but on music marketing and empowerment for artists, and so I've actually spent like 2.5 decades inspiring and empowering creative people, and then this YouTube thing that I'm doing that you all know me for is a more recent development. The last 2 or 3 years. Ashley, I love you too. Thank you so much for saying that. I appreciate it. So here's just a couple of ideas actually, and using Zoom lately has kind of inspired this. So I would like to have, I'm thinking of offering some like Zoom calls that are limited to like 10 people, and they'll have specific topics. Like what I'm thinking of is just like how to stay positive in turbulent times, maybe. And maybe I'll do this the week after next, and I'll have a sign up thing. It'll be super affordable, limited to 10 people. I'm talking like $20 a person or something. It's not going to break the bank. And we just get online, and unlike this, where I can see your comments, but I can't hear you on Zoom. I can see you, I can hear you. We can actually interact in real time, and I would love to be able to actually have real time conversations with some of you. But so let me know. How does that idea sound to you? Just offering occasional. And if one sells out, I'll just offer another session at a different time, because I only need 10 people. I don't want to have too many people on there, and it's not really a class so much as it is a discussion. I'll lead it. I'll have some principles that I share, but I'll have a format so that everybody gets their time to interact. But I would love to have real conversations with some of you who would like to do that. So that's one idea, is have these Zoom calls, limited to 10 people. And another one, something that I've done in the music marketing and the creative space, is I've done some coaching and consulting, like one-on-one. So I've helped artists and musicians, build their careers and come up with a marketing plan and all that. But if what I do resonates with you and you think that you might benefit from some one-on-one time with me, I might offer some like 30-minute and 60-minute options to do that. So just kind of let me know if this is generally speaks to you. And because these are some things I'm thinking about offering. And this is all about, that's been my whole approach to living an entrepreneurial life. I've been self-employed for much of my adult life. Last time I had a day job was like 2004. And my approach to this, I don't need to have the written 3-year plan structure. I like to just experiment. That's part of the artist side of me. Let's just try something. What would happen if I did? I'm going to try to offer this. that's actually how this YouTube channel grew so much. I said, what if because I was seeking out affirmation videos and really not liking a lot of the things that I was finding. So I said, I think I could do a pretty good job at this. I'm just gonna put it out there and see if anybody likes it. If they do, great. If they don't, so it was just like a playful approach, and this thing took off, and now it's a big part of what my life is dedicated to. And so I'll try these things too. So just let me know if that appeals to you. And let's see here. Said Len's just happy to see. You need to stay healthy. We need you to stay healthy for us. We need you. Well, Lucy, the good news is my girlfriend and I are staying pretty much homebound. We go out to the park. We haven't actually been to the store in about a week and a half because we didn't hoard, but we stocked up with what we needed. But we will probably be making a store run at some point, but probably with the mask and the gloves. So I'm playing it very safe. So thank you for saying that. Yes, I love you. Zenny says, yes, we love you. I personally recommend your videos to my friend and client. Oh, awesome. And all right, cool. So should we continue? I guess, boy, this is going to be a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. I'm already at a half an hour. Let's go back to sharing the screen. And I've covered the first 3 questions. Again, if you come back, I'll update the description later today with links to some PDF files that have this information in it. That you can print off and use. So, number 4, this is a good one. How am I moving my body today? Admittedly, most of my YouTube videos are about the mental aspects. They're about your attitude, and that's just a crucially important part, but let's not overlook the physical. It's something I have to remind myself of over and over. Yes, you have to, especially these days when we're like those of us who are isolated or are homebound a lot, is I could easily spend hours sitting in this very chair. This is the chair, the home office where I create all my audios and videos. And I can sit way too much. I'm guilty, just like everyone. So I have to constantly remind myself to get up and move. And there's so many different ways you could do that. You could set a timer. You make sure when it is nice, because it was cold and overcast a lot last week. But yesterday was 80 degrees in St. Louis, and so spring has finally sprung. But today it's a little cloudy again. Anyway, whenever you have the opportunity to get outside, to move your body, do that because it's so important. Yes, we washed all of our. Cool. So ask yourself, how am I moving my body today? That can be indoors. That can be outdoors. There's always ways to get movement. So just don't sit I know there's a lot of joking about sitting on your couch, and our grandparents had to go to war. At least you can do is sit on your couch, but don't sit on your couch all day. Get up and move, and don't forget that physical. Get in that activity. I refrain from calling it exercise because to some people that's like a chore or whatever, depending on how you think of it. But I just like to keep my body moving. And so I do the best that I can. I'm no athlete. That's why I don't have any fitness videos, but I know the importance of it. Here's a good one that totally relates to my creative side. Question number 5 is, what beauty am I either creating, cultivating, or inviting in today? This is a good one. What beauty am I either creating, cultivating, or inviting in today? So I like those 3 choices there because not everyone considers themselves an artist. I believe everyone is creative no matter what you do. If you're a stay-at-home parent, or you homeschool, or you're a carpenter, I mean, it doesn't matter. We all bring creativity to what we do, but just make sure that you're either creating. So this would be a great time to write a book, to do a painting, to write a song, to write poetry, whatever it is. So if you feel the urge to create, or you used to tell yourself, I don't have time to do that, and you are kind of homebound, if you have that type of situation, create, scratch the creative itch, cultivating or inviting it in today. So if you don't consider yourself an artist, what beauty, what art, is there an album that you've been wanting to listen to? You just go on Spotify and explore some of the new artists. A lot of the museums are doing some really cool things, like the St. Louis Art Museum, I think, has like an object or a piece of art for the day that you can view online. You can take tours of museums and different places online. So yes, invite beauty, invite art, invite creativity into your life. You can either make it yourself, or you can make an intentional effort to enjoy the art created by others. So let me pop back over here to see if there's. So to the earlier one, Zenny, is it Zenny or Zini? I walk in the park or dancing while I'm cooking. This is to my other thing about staying. She says, and yoga. So I know it's a little behind. I'm talking about one thing, but you guys are looking at the comments for the previous thing. Today I will strengthen my legs, arms, and abdomen. Christine's done. I'm doing my daily meditation and yoga, Pilates. Oh, wow. Bill says, hey, Bob, thanks for all the great videos. Especially appreciate your gratitude videos. Awesome. Cool to find you're in St. Louis, too. Oh, so, Bill, you're in St. Louis and in Dogtown. Yeah, I'm very familiar with that. Right across from the St. Louis Zoo and Turtle Park and all that. Yeah, fabulous. It's always great to connect with another St. Louisan. Cool. And then let's see here. Lucy says, I work out my brain first with you. Thank you very much. I like that term, work out my brain. I do your affirmations every single morning, and that propels me to have an amazing and confident day. Oh, I love to hear that. And I've often said that, the key to living a successful life, it's a two-pronged approach. There's the mental aspect and there's the physical aspect. And I've always, I think you might do yourself a disservice if you focus too much on one or the other, because there are people that only are about taking action and going to work and grinding it out, but they have a lousy attitude about it, and so they're not firming up their mental fitness. And then there's some people that live only in the visualization world, and they intend and they affirm, but they're not taking action toward their goals. And so I'm very practical when it comes to this stuff. And so I think that's a great balance to have. Is yes, there's the mental fitness, the mental clarity, the intention, stay positive, and then back that up not only with exercise and physical activity, but actions that you take to moving toward your goals. And you can even do that during a crisis like this. Let's see what Sandra has to say. I like what you said about cooking. I will dance. Oh, she's talking about. Somebody else commented about dancing while they cook, and Len says, I work out every day. Well, good for you, man. I need to I need to incorporate that. I definitely probably have more of the mental fitness going for me than I do the physical fitness, if I were to be honest with you. But I'm aware of it, and I'm doing better and better all the time. All right, let's keep this going. How am I getting outside today? Again, this is especially true during this current global situation, but man, oh man, it applies to any time, no matter what's going on. Get outside, get fresh air, get sunshine, get that vitamin D from the sun on your face. So get out of the house, because I don't know if you probably experienced this, where you realize there were some beautiful days, but you were working on a project or something at home, and you realized that you had spent the entire day inside without getting out. And I beat myself up about that. So again, a lot of these things you just have to be intentional about. That's why I'm going to give you 2 PDF files. One is a 1-page with all these questions on 1 page, so that you can print them off and put them somewhere where you'll be reminded of them. And then I'll give you a 2-page worksheet version where you can fill out, and fill in the blanks about how can you get outside, where can you go, what type of physical activity. For each of these, you can fill out the details. So get outside as much as you can. Enjoy the fresh air. If you have access to a park or something, I'm very blessed. I live near a couple of parks, and there's a lake nearby. I know not everyone does if you're in an urban area, but just do the best you can, just to get out in the fresh air. All right, let me just. Cool. A lot of people are talking about dancing while cooking, so I'm glad that you're interacting with each other. That's awesome. All right, let's see here. Oh, by the way, if you're liking this video, or if you're enjoying it, please like it, share it. And if you don't, I assume most of you are subscribed to the channel if you got a notification. But if you're not subscribed to the channel, please do so. And I will, I'll I want to make sure that you get notifications. Hit the little bell so you get notified whenever I post a new video. And again, what I'm planning on doing this week is posting a video every day starting Monday morning. I'm going to focus. This will be a pre-recorded video, not a live one, where I'll focus on one of these questions every day through Sunday. That's my plan. And so if I'm stating it here publicly, it's given me a little bit of leverage to follow up on that. I love that copy right at the bottom. I'm not sure what that. Oh, the copyright thing. Oh. I'm not sure what that means. Where are we at? Oh, so we're down to number 7 finally here. And this is the one that I added that wasn't on the original list of 6 that I found. And is, how am I giving myself permission to relax and or have fun today? And again, while these are 7 questions that you would answer look at every day, I'm going to be focusing on one a day, and day number 7 would land on next Sunday. And this is a good one. As I was looking over those 6 and going, is there anything missing? What's really important here? And so I didn't really see relaxation or just like treating yourself to fun and levity, and even if it's just to watch a mindless television show. So how am I giving myself permission to relax and have fun today? Because a lot of the other ones are kind of active. I'm going to reach out and connect with people. I'm gonna exercise. I'm gonna do this and that. But it's also okay to give yourself permission to relax or to have fun. And that could be listening to a comedy album or a funny movie. It could be connecting with a friend who makes you laugh. So make sure that there's time for self-nurturing, for relaxation, and for fun. That's like that's one of the reasons I do improv, is I think people are too darn serious. And so yes. So I think we all need a little sense of levity, and so not to take life too seriously. But I guess you could take with the things you're doing seriously, but just don't take yourself so darn seriously. I don't know why Len is cracking up over the copyright notice there. Anyway, I struggle. Let's see. Lucy says, I struggle with my kids. Oh, wait. I snuggle. I saw struggle there. Good. Okay, I snuggle with my kids, and I love it. Okay, great. Fantastic. I do agree that you're always here. And then Christine says, thank you, Bob. Always a pleasure. Fabulous. Yeah, I'm going to be wrapping this up here. So again, thank you so much for tuning in and for commenting and all that good stuff. I really appreciate it. And so that's my plan for the coming week is to cover these 7 daily questions a little bit more in depth, one at a time. Again, I'm going to be putting out, and if you don't. If you're not on my email list, I would really appreciate it if you did. I offer 6 free meditation and affirmation downloads when you do, and then every week I send out updates. I might send out more this coming week because I'm doing these daily questions. But if you're not on it, go to Bob Baker Inspiration. That's right there at the bottom of that page, bobbakerinspiration.com. And then you will quickly find out how you can get on the email list, and I'll send you free downloads. And then every week I'll be updating you on stuff I'm doing on and off of YouTube, including some of those Zoom meetings that I would like to have, or one-on-one sessions if you think you would benefit from that. It's so indeed, Sandra says, relax. I will sleep more today for health. Yay. That's a great thing to great aspiration to have. So thanks so much for tuning in. I hope you have a great rest of your weekend. Make the best of this situation. Let's make some lemonades out of these lemons. Focus on what we can do instead of what we can't. And I really appreciate you being here, and I'm going to continue to serve you in this manner because it's important to me. It's my purpose in life is to try to live as an empowered life, and stay as positive, and laugh as much as I can, love as much as I can, and then inspire you to do the same thing. And if we all did that, I think the world would be a better place. So, are you with me? All right, I know you are. So thank you all. I'm going to wrap this one up for now. I'll talk to you soon. This is Bob Baker saying so long for now.